Hello, folks. Welcome back to another episode of 25 to 1, where I chronicle the journey of taking my $25,000 a year business to $1 million. Before I get started on today's topic, I wanted to reflect on one of the aspects of last week's topic, which was using Microsoft Clarity. And when I talk about tools or things that I've used, I apply it very strictly to my ecom business and my website. But there's a lot of other applications for things like that. And I was just thinking, imagine if you had a web page where you were offering certain services, you could use Microsoft Clarity to see what services people are reading the most about or where in the drop down menus they're clicking most into. So I know you guys can put two and two together, but that was just something that I was thinking of would be another very useful application, is just seeing how what your landing page looks like, how it's received. I will also probably be doing that moving forward, is thinking and discussing other applications for tools or thought processes or systems that I use, like today, for example. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce you to the Princeton Gale patented, trademark, super copyrighted ecom flywheel, which has an asterisk that is not only applicable to ecom. But I wanted to go ahead and show you. I have a little bit of a setup that I'm still getting used to that's a little different than last time. So hopefully the images are a bit clear. I'm using my telephone as a webcam now, and I think that it's much better than the native laptop webcam that I was using before. So I'll go ahead and discuss as I play. So I guess to start off, this is the way that I think about my business. One of the topics that I had early on was a question of, where does this leave certain people like me if you're not making $1 million a year, and that's the level that you have to be at where gurus will take you on for mentorship, but you're certainly not making nothing. So in this range that I'm at right about now, 5 to 10K per month, I've had to develop a lot of my own ways of modeling my business, assessing my thought process, and thinking about the framework behind how I take actions. And so that led me to come up with this. I paid someone 25 bucks to animate it, but it was just a sketch that I had drawn on a piece of paper. And it's 4 quadrants that each have subsections in them that I think are things that, as you start off in ecom, you have to do everything at least a little bit. And then as your abilities grow, you'll do them a little more as you grow, and you'll do them a little more. So I'll go ahead and hit play and maybe talk through it and pause. So the animator started off with number 3, creative, but it doesn't really matter. It's a cyclical process, so you could start anywhere, and creative might be one of the places that I started, actually, realizing that I needed to have some sort of ad placement so that I could run my ads, and creative is what that's about. There's these 4 quadrants might be slightly different depending on what your business is, what your application is, but this is what makes how I think of things. And in creative, it could work one of two ways. Either my first creative is going to be a video, and then I'll move on to ad strategy. And my first thing in ad strategy is going to be ad platforms. Which one do I use? The other way it could work is I have to do a little bit of everything in here. I do have to have some sort of creative ideas. There's easy ways to create creatives that you don't really have to have an idea. All you need to do is put your product in this template, and either AI or the template company that you've bought them from can populate with certain things for you. But in my case, I did want to have some ideas around creative, but I also needed to put something out there to begin with, to start with. And so that's what I mean by the way this becomes cyclical, is that you do something just to have it done, but you need to do something in all 4 of these quadrants. I say you, I mean, I realized I had to do something in all 4 of these quadrants. And this is how my process from getting to 2,500 to 10,000 per month has worked for me. So I'll go ahead and finish playing it just so that you get the visual. And then you get into the product, then you get into conversions, and then you get to better creative, better ad strategy, more products, or better supply chain. You keep increasing your conversions. You keep increasing the level of expertise you have in creating ads. in designing them in your platforms. So that's basically it. Kind of quick and dirty and to the point. I guess a little bit more that I could say in each one of these quadrants is that I do think creative has been very, very separate for me than ad strategy. Of course, product is another area to focus on. And if I'm thinking about another application, product would be services, right? If you're going to be a service based business. And within product, these are kind of each one is a huge undertaking. Eliminating single source dependencies in your supply chains, building redundancies, interviewing other suppliers, communicating with them, getting samples. That's supply chain management is a whole big one. Um, New designs, new product designs. I have a couple of designs that I have in mind right now that I'm pretty excited to roll out. And I'm trying to plan like what a good product rollout strategy looks like for the next year. I don't want to roll out 5 new products in January and then have nothing the rest of the year. So, new design strategy is also a big part of how you manage your product, and of course, pricing as well. And there's other things within here. These are kind of the top ones that I know I've had to think about and strategize around. And then conversions is a big one that I think can easily get tied to ad strategy or the quality of your creatives. And I think it's a completely separate issue, which is where email marketing, website optimization, connection with customers, social proof, those kinds of things come in. Those even just email marketing is a huge undertaking that you're going to have to do continually and consistently, but you're going to have a level of automation in your email marketing platform that is going to take a while to set up and some expertise too. I have a video pulled up on YouTube that is going to go through every major email flow that we all need to have. And since I only have the basics and I haven't really touched them since I bought the company and they were set up, I have made some modifications, but it's an area that I've been lacking in that will hopefully get resolved sooner rather than later, or at least again, I'll have something. I'll lay a baseline, then I'll go back to creatives, then ad strategy, then product, and then I'll come back to my email marketing and think, all right, what else do I need to improve on this, and spend more time on it. And I think that's the other key takeaway here is that at the beginning, you can spend a little bit of time to lay a baseline and to get something out. And as you circle back around to that thing, you're going to have to spend more time on it to incrementally get better. And the better you are at it, the more time you're going to have to spend to move the needle a little more. So that's another thing that I've realized. But as for today's video, that's going to be it. I just wanted to introduce you to the patented, trademarked, super copyrighted Princeton Gale flywheel of e-commerce. For Sunday, it'll be December 1st, and that video we will talk about how we did in November. I already dropped the ball a little bit, that we're doing at least 10K. So we'll be discussing that increase as well from the last time we looked at it when I was at 8K to this past month where I got up to 10K. And hopefully it'll just be the beginning of getting the ball rolling. But that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in a couple days.